you're downsizing or just moving to another part of town, if you want to sell your unwanted home quickly for cash, there's someone who will take it in any location, any condition. And to tell us more about this, I'd like to welcome Laith Levada, real estate investor, buyer, owner of First Prime Realty Group. Laith, thank you so much for being here with us. So why would a seller want to sell to someone for cash?
A lot of times the sellers that I help sell their unwanted properties are facing a hardship like a divorce, a job loss, a relocation, a death in the family. Maybe they've inherited an unwanted rental property or something like that, or the home just needs massive repairs and they're unable to complete it, and the buyers out there are unable to buy it through conventional loans. So we come in, rehab the property, and then we'll get it back on the market, and then a traditional buyer can buy that property.
And why would the seller need to sell quickly for cash?
Well, a lot of times if somebody's facing a hardship or something like that, like one of our sellers was facing cancer and had to go out of town for treatment in Chicago, he needed to sell that house very quickly, and we were able to get that done in as little as 3 days for him, and it made the transaction a lot smoother. And when you're going through something like that, you don't want to be dealing with the idiosyncrasies and the problematic things that can happen when you actually sell a home.
So what happens in a situation where someone's home has a lot of unwanted items in them, stuff, if you will?
Well, that happens a lot. You know, you accumulate stuff over a long period of time. It becomes tough for a lot of sellers, especially older sellers. You know, we had one gentleman was 90, didn't have any family in town, didn't have any help to move. We told him, like I tell everybody, just leave what you don't want and we'll take care of the rest of it for you. And it makes it just so much a better experience and smoother for those homeowners.
And in a situation where a seller needs money for the move before the closing, what can you do there?
Well, we do what's called a post-occupancy agreement. We'll say, hey, you can stay in the property after we buy the property. We'll put the money in your pocket before close or at closing, and then they move out a little bit after closing or whatever that we negotiate through the purchase contract.
So what should a seller know before selling a home to a cash investor like yourself?
Well, a lot of these national buyers come in, or even local buyers, they'll put you under agreement to sell before they even see the property. They'll look at the numbers, have a conversation, but they don't look at the property. And then they wait till the end of the transaction to look at the property, and then they find out it's too much, it needs too much repairs, and then they end up either pulling out and canceling the transaction or reducing the amount of money that goes to the seller. We don't want to do that. We want to get the sellers as much as we possibly can, and when we sign an agreement to close, we want to guarantee closing so that you get your cash profits at the closing table.
And here's kind of a related question. How does a seller know they'll actually receive the cash profits from the sale?
Well, we close at a third-party title and closing company. It's not a tabletop closing. We sign the agreement, it goes to a third-party closing company. They ensure I get clean title and you get your cash profits. And that's how we make sure that the seller gets indeed what we say they're going to get at closing. That's very important. If you're doing a tabletop closing, Don't do it.
There's a lot of information here. How can folks contact you to get more information?
Well, it's really simple. Just call my office for a 24-hour, no obligation, hassle-free cash offer after we do the pre-offer inspection, of course, and then we'll open up escrow, we'll close the transaction so you can get your cash profits.
All right, Laith Levada, thank you for being here.
Thank you.